everyone. Welcome back to Markwood Inn. I'm the Innkeeper, and we're going to go ahead and open this present that got lost, found a little bit after Christmas, and we're going to see what's inside. While we're opening this, I'm just going to discuss what was going on this year with Flesh and Blood and my take on it all. So let's go ahead and get started. Get our handy dandy dagger here to open up. So we'll start with January, February. So, at that time, we were watching the market of Crew First Edition as supply shortages were kind of everywhere. I tried to get some of those and did not do so successfully. Try not to damage the boxes in here, so just give me a second. While, Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising First Edition boxes began to settle in price, card grading companies began to see this influx of submissions to the point where they actually had to increase their price, and that's why we're seeing this box today. If you haven't guessed it, we submitted some cards to Beckett Grading Services, and we're going to go ahead and see what was inside that box and what kind of grades we got. I submitted in 3 batches. The first one was the creme de la creme. I already received those. We'll go over that in another video. I used the Premier service, so it cost me a little pretty of a penny, but I was able to get those cards back relatively quickly. Next was a bundle of about 22 cards. That's what we're doing today and what the spotlight's on here. Use the economy service, and we'll go through and see what's going on there. And lastly, I submitted a bunch of cards via economy, and so I'll probably get those, by 2024. I'm going to look under here and just see what we're working with. Make sure there's no personal information of sorts. Go ahead and open that. Get this out of here. Okay, it looks like we might be okay. See a lot of rubber bands. Okay, go ahead and pick this out. Keep it in focus. And we'll toss this box. All right. Start opening here. See what we got. Try not to damage the plastic. Keep that intact. So anyway, so that was kind of the January, February for me. I started to play a little bit more at that time. All my cards were gone. In March, April, heading into March, we saw a combination of FOMO, or as people call it, the fear of missing out. And sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I have these the right way. There we go. And so FOMO, stimulus checks, courtesy of the new guy in the Oval Office, having an effect on Monarch pre-orders. So that was the first set of the next block after Welcome to Wraith, Arcane, and Crucible of War. And stores kind of wanted to benefit from this, and a lot of Timmy's obliged also from that fab craze. Oh, I'm already seeing some gold, seeing some silver. That's a good sign. So even with MAP, or minimum advertised price being $80, prior to the actual release, prices averaged about $450 to $500 a box. I just want to make sure I get, we're good. This would end up being a definitive moment, in fab history, where flippers got backhanded back into reality, and man, gravity kind of took over at that point. So a lot of people put their eggs into that basket. They over leveraged, they held too long. They bought way too late, thinking there was no limit to Monarch's potential, and that the print run would really mirror those past sets. I think the overall meme here was Mon to the moon, and flippers just weren't prepared for the journey to the moon. Being a 25-mile-per-hour construction zone with frequent bathroom breaks and the constant "are we there yet" from the back seat, or as Discord I like to call it, it's a new game, and things need to mature a little bit. Things need to slow down, and over time, these will go up. But it punished those flippers pretty hard back in those couple of months. So let's see what we have here. I think my information's, yeah, it's somehow in this card. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out while simultaneously trying to show you guys that. Maybe I'll have to edit that out. That's okay. All right, what do we have here? Okay, skull bone cross wrap. Very nice. You know, in case the other one, you know, runs out of batteries that I submitted, you know, it's always good to have another one of these. Very nice. So we got a 9.5 all around, except the corners, making it a 9. I'm going to put the knife over here so I don't cut myself. I'm going to put this guy over here so we can still see it on the bottom row. Let's go ahead and move these over. No, we can't see it. There we go. Get that out. A lot of rubber here. Okay. Well, give them credit. They are secure-ish. Okay. Go ahead and bring these down here, like so. Now, what do we have next? Let's stack them like such. And we have an Arknight shard. Very nice. Very purple. Looks like we got a 10 in centering, corners a 9, edges 9, and surface 9.5. Very cool. So it looks like we have our first gold card here. Let's go ahead and see what we have. Oh, of course, it's another shard. I should probably mix these up. So this one looks to be 9.5 centering, edges, corners a 9, and a surface a 10. Very nice. Very nice indeed. You know, I love to see cards personally pulled make it out to a 9.5. And all the shards, I believe I pulled these myself. I did not purchase those. So we have, you know, let me flip these around to give you guys kind of a surprise. There we go. So we'll go ahead and pull this one here. Ooh, Shiana. Oh, man. Very nice. You know, anyone else waiting for that Diamond Fable that she's carrying there? I know I am. Let's put that over here. Probably mix these up a little bit. There we go. Sorry, Shiana, we're going to use you to place that. There we go. So we have a 9.5, it looks like. And what do we think it is? What do we think it is? Of course, it has to be another shard. I mean, why wouldn't it? So, you know, if you look really closely, there is a number 2, which I find pretty funny that we have 2 9.5s, and we have a 2 on the Arknight shard. Let's open one more before we go back to kind of the timeline here. It's a 9.5, and it's a Shiana. Okay, I should be expecting this. They seem clumped together. So we have a 9.5 centering, edges, surface, and a 9 corners. Corners will always get you, folks. Corners will always get you. You know, it's a very rare card, and I've always wondered what her true form is. Is it this that we see here? Is it a Selkie? Is it something really ugly? I kind of don't know. So talking about, you know, May, June, that sort of time frame, Monarch comes out May 7th, I believe the day it was. It's the first of the new block. It's you know, it's released, and what a set. I mean, there was a lot of cool stuff with it. Chain causing agony, both literally and figuratively. Prism, the new Bravo killer, with Herald, Sentinels, and the Genocide. Levia, accumulating and simultaneously pausing blood debt akin to credit card roulette. Then we have Bolton, a light warrior with illuminated path to ascension. And let us not forget the deviation from gems to landmarks, starting with the Great Library of Solana, which I did not submit. Unfortunately, you won't see it here. These were just, I believe, from the first 3 sets. So let's see what's our next card here. We have Skull Bone Cross Wrap. Very nice. It's a 9.5. We will take it. And, you know, whenever I see this card, it always seems like he's... oh, not him. He's not the one that's smirking, but I need someone to explain this one to me. You know, is it a torture device or a ranger helmet? I've really never understood that. I mean, luckily we have gold and silver here, which is nice. But, you know, one thing that I've always been curious about, what is this? I don't know. If somebody can write in the comments, that'd be great. I would like some explanation there. All right, for the next one, we have a gold, and it's Grasp of the Arknight. Very cool. Really like this card. It's simple, yet elegant and vibrant. I think that one is going to be 9.5 centering, edges, surface a 10, and a corners 9. Ooh, and tectonic plating. So, you know, is it the plate mail or the belly button gem that gives it power? If anybody knows that, that's always, you know, why be in the front? I mean, wouldn't you want it like hidden somewhere? I don't know. Maybe it's a Bravo thing and kind of intimidating your opponent. I really don't know. Scabskin leathers. Very nice. Another 9.5. Man, these are all 9.5, it seems. Okay, very cool. I'm not going to complain. Given that this is the same artist as the one for Barkbone strapping, I kind of always wanted to do this, and this is the first time I'm doing this, I swear. But where did I put that? Because I knew I submitted this card. I mean, it's not like I don't know. So if we kind of, do these go together? I don't know. You guys try that out. If you guys have these cards, I'm curious if that is the, I can't tell because the slab is kind of blocking my ability to do that. That one's going to be 9.5 everywhere but the corners. And of course, we get hurt on those infamous corners. I'm going to go ahead and open this. And it's what I was dreading. It is a Mask of Momentum. You know, we have 9.5 everywhere but the edges. I don't know. I feel like I need to... Oh, no. Corners were an 8.5. Okay. I understand now. That makes sense. I guess that makes sense. I still need 9.5. If we don't... I think this is the only one I submitted in this batch. If we don't get one, I'm willing to trade. I have extras, as you can see here. So I'll have to figure something out. So taking a break, July, August, prices kept cooling on Monarch, reaching under about $300 a box, while the hype and the hope continued to build for Kingdoms. I mean, ELE or Tales of Aria. That's what I think they finally landed on, right? Yeah. So not sure about the rest of you, but the tail end of July and all of August were spent prepping and competing in the US's first Road to Nationals events. See a lot of those characters here on the playmat. For some, one event was enough. I happen to know someone who just drove, they won, and they were done. For others like me, bonds had to be forged as we fought tooth and nail, carpooled together, and sometimes drove for hours for the chance at that coveted Nationals invite. So a lot of July and August was a blur for me. That's kind of what we... Oh, and a Braveforge Bracers. Oh, I'd love to see it. And unfortunately, there's a big reflection, which I can't help, so... You're seeing my ceiling fan. That's kind of what's going on there. So we have 9.5 everywhere but the corners. That was really big with those first cards, was the corners. And that right hand, I don't know if you guys see that here, but you know, it seems like a very unforgiving wrist guard. I don't know if you kind of bent your hand up like that. That seems like it would not be good, but I guess it protects you, so who cares? We have another silver card here. And it's going to be a Findal Spring Tunic. You know, one for Findal herself, and another in an XXL for her friend Reinar, so he can get that extra resource point. This one just feels like everything's just not doing well. Corners and centering. Which I agree with the centering. I'm not disagreeing by any means on these grades. It looks like the right and the left are a little bit off, and the top and bottom. So take what you can get, folks. The next one is going to be a silver border card. I got a heads up on what these were. Okay, so we got another Shiana Diamond Gemini. We're just going to put that one back. Is there any difference between those two? Yeah, it's actually a worse Shiana with 8.5 on the corners. Yeesh. Okay. Now we have a twinning blade. So this is one of the non-cold foils that I did submit. It was just so freaking beautiful. I had to submit it. It just, I don't know if you guys can see that. It screams Super Saiyan 3 to me. I don't know if there's any Dragon Ball fans out there, but when I saw this card, I went, okay, cool. You know, this isn't really, I'm going to destroy you. If you look at her face, you know, it's not like a, I'm going to kill you. It's a, you know, I have a lock of hair in between my plate armor and I'm really pissed about it and I'm about to take it out on you. That's kind of how I felt about that. So we're going to put these, we're going to start stacking these actually. Make some room. There we go. Move those up. So we know those are a 9.5. So start scooting. Okay, cool. We got one more gold. We'll go into a fun topic of September, October. Ooh, Arcanite Skullcap. Love that card. Always play it. I'm a Bravo guy myself. Yeah. So whenever I see this, you know, it always seems like he's smirking. You look at his face, you know, he's smirking. You know, and he's about to say my turn to some wizard that just tried to destroy him, but he's got that arcane block for 3, so he's not really fazed by that, folks. So in September, you know, LSS kicked off the calling events in the US. Many found themselves in Vegas, like me, Vegas, Nevada. People don't know where Vegas is. For the world premiere of Kingdoms, Tales of Aria, as attendees got their hands on the coveted first edition cards. The occasional scream of excitement kind of echoed through those halls as novel legendary cards and big old trees, Korshams, were pulled from those booster packs. This was also the first time players had a somewhat chance at an uncut sheet of cards. And I'm looking at you, Loophole Lyman, buying all those ticks for tricks, or most of the time cash. You know, this was the first time many players had an opportunity to meet their fab friends in person and not just Tabletop Simulator, or as it's known, TTS, if you hear it anywhere else. After Vegas, other callings followed in places like Dallas and Cincinnati. Casual players kind of settled back into those armory events littered with 3 new heroes, a change from the previous 4 hero lineups that we saw. So we had Oldheim, or Oldhim, ironically taking an eternity in his matches, Lexi lighting up matches with lightning and ice, Briar being true to her name as a force of freaking nature, and I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. Let's see what we have. We have a gold. It's a 9.5 Teklo Heart. Okay. Very nice. I guess I'll take it. I think we should. Mechanologists are like the necromancers of machines, you know. Someone's got to make sure they tell C-3PO not to get into that sand crawler or he's going to have his chest opened. Just like that. No bueno. We have another silver here. Silvers are nice. I'll take it. It's a 9. Okay, Arcanite Skullcap. Honestly, might play with this one. I do have a rainbow foil, but I think I will upgrade. Speaking of, you know, one of the things that I've always run into is when I attend events with my slabs, you know, I feel like Santa at skirmishes rummaging through just a bag. If anybody has a really cool slab holder type deal, I'd love to know about that. Stormstriders, solid 9. Well, we have a silver pair. Maybe we can get a gold pair. That would be nice. You know, always got to have different 2 pair of shoes, different colors. Put that one. So that one's a 9 surface and centering with edges being a 9.5, and the corners always hurting you. Corners are unfortunately an 8.5. Can you guys see that okay? I don't know if you can. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why I'm leaving the middle open. I don't know how I'm organizing this. Just please bear with me. All right. We have, what do we have here? Oh, speaking of, we have Stormstriders 9.5. See, told you guys we needed that. You know, it's kind of got a hairless calf there. My guess, we have a female wizard that's coming up. Otherwise, Etsy needs to offer some rune signed knee-high socks, I think, because those are pretty cool. Put that one right there. So before we do the last two, November, December, kicking off November, we had the US's first Nationals event hosted in Orlando, Florida. The best of the best had 3 events to showcase their skills and walk home with those fancy golden foiled cards, of which I own none. Perfectly fine. I'm not that good. I accept this. The main event was 6 rounds of Aria Limited, 10 rounds of Classic Constructed, with cuts to the top 8. The Calling, on the other hand, was Classic Constructed, 11 rounds of Swiss, and 2 cuts to the top 64 and 8, respectively. And then a Pro Quest sealed Aria, which, is great in and of itself, kind of levels the playing field. Unfortunately, I did all 3 events. I was trying to, kind of spread my chances out, but I had fun. Champions were crowned. Once again, Runeblade was victorious in the meta. I don't think anybody was surprised there. Things began to cool off in December, while other countries, started to conduct their own national events, some of them bleeding into 2022. So let's get, I'm just trying to randomize these here. 9.5. All right, we'll take it. It's 9. 10 surface. So it looks like my microfiber cloth wiping, which I always recommend when you submit cards, was good. All right. And, oh, yes. Yeah, that's a 10. Not a black label. Let's see. It's everything corners. Every time it's the corners. But that's a 10, guys. Wow. This card, I'm excited. I'm sad. Excited because I think this might be the only one that exists. But I'm sad because it will never see the light of day. That thing's going away into cold storage, folks. Or room temperature. I don't know, whatever temperature cards need to be stored at. So anyway, this wraps it up. I think I'm really happy here with everything that we have. As we approach 2022, all eyes are going to be on that upcoming supplemental set of Everfest, the 3rd and final set of the latest block of Flesh and Blood. So I'll see you guys at Mirkwood Inn. I've been the Innkeeper. Thanks for watching.
Yes, friends, I'll fill you